This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Okay, you guys ready? They do it twins. Mike, my volumes are okay, right? I'm sorry. Can we just verify one more time? Okay, I'm just gonna yes. Okay.
I'm sweating, yeah.
I know you're sweating because you're nervous. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Let's go.
Here we go.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affairs. You guys can tell it is early in the morning. I'm about 3 mimosas in already, so this is going to be a very dangerous episode, but I'm trying to be on my best behavior because the guest wife is here. She just appeared out of nowhere. I thought she was going to stay home like all these men do when they come see me, but in this case, she came. No, thank you for coming, Amy. It's truly good to see you. You're beautiful, God, beautiful. Now, before we continue with this exciting episode of The Public Affair that I'm so excited to dive into, I definitely want to use this opportunity to thank Rogue Media Network for all they do for me in the show. Of course, Mike Hamilton is here producing this episode. Me and Mike started in the closet, and now we're here, darling. The 21st floor of the Alico building. And of course, I want to thank all of you, and please encourage to like, share, and subscribe this episode of The Public Affair and the podcast. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity. I just got to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by my boy, David Santabañez, with Linear Real Estate. He's the #1 sales agent in his office, right? He's gonna help you buy a home, sell your property. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to buy a house, you don't know how to do any of that mess, David's gonna help you from start to finish and make sure that you're involved in every single step of the process. Se habla español también. And that's why he remains the #1 sales agent at Linear Real Estate. Make sure you guys give him a call with the number on the screen when you're ready to make that very important step in your life by buying a house or even selling that ranky ass house that you're in right now, okay? David's gonna help you do it. David, thank you so much for all you do for me and The Public Affair and bringing us this episode of the show. Of course, to Anika Armstrong with Armstrong's Bayou Cafe and Bayou Po' Boys, serving the most authentic, oh my goodness, no Cajun food. And I'm saying this with all due confidence. It's standing next to Armstrong's Bayou Cafe with my girl, Anika Armstrong, simply the best. I love going there, rolling around in all her signature pastas. All her crab cakes are so phenomenal. If you guys are into seafood and potatoes, go check them out as well at Union Hall and Union Grove. Follow on Facebook at Armstrong's Bayou Cafe. Anika, thank you so much for all you do for me and The Public Affair. I truly appreciate you, darling. Of course, to my boy Manny Guerrero at Blue Star RV Services, and he's a mobile RV tech. If you guys own an RV, if you guys own a food truck, and they're always breaking down because they're just pieces of then you guys need to hit up my boy, Manny Guerrero, Blue Star RV Services. Him and his team are 100% reliable and professional and can fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more. He even deal with the warranty company, so you guys don't have to do all that mess. You don't have to do all that mess. Just pay him a small service fee, and him and his team are going to have your rig up and running. To Manny Guerrero, Blue Star RV Services, thank you so much for all you do for me in The Public Affair. Of course, to Jesse and Tanya Sotomayor with Chips, Pizza, and Burgers. You guys, they're the best thing to come out of Belmead. I don't care. We can fight. They're the best thing to come out of Belmead with their New York style pizzas, burgers, subs, delicious Mexican hot dogs, and so much more. They even have ice cold beer. So you guys can go. I like this restaurant because I feel like it's a restaurant that if everybody doesn't know what they want, you should just go to Chef's Pizza and Burgers because they have such a variety of things and their menu is constantly growing. Make sure you guys check them out, 3125 Belmead Drive. To Chef's Pizza and Burgers, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, we're not going to go on without thanking my boy Jeff Davis, the Texas car plug at University Mazda Kia. Listen, if your credit is cocky and or you have no credit or you have good credit, whatever your credit looks like, go see my boy Jeff Davis. He's going to get you a brand new or pre-owned car that's going to have you smiling off the lot and showing off to all your friends. Make sure you guys go hit up my boy Jeff Davis, the Texas car plug at University Mazda Kia. And thank you so much for being a longtime sponsor of The Public Affair. All right, guys, I gotta take a sip after that one. Shit. It takes a lot out of me to do that. You know what I mean? I'm on a time crunch when I do the ads.
Crazy.
Do you like? Was that interesting?
That was crazy. That's a lot. That's fast.
Thank you. I try.
That was pretty fast.
Well, this is not going to be fast because we have so much to cover. As you guys can hear, I have a really renowned guest on this episode of The Public Affair, very well respected in the soccer community. I'm sure some can argue, but I respect him in the soccer community, and I'm in the soccer community. So how about that, bitch? So he's a veteran soccer coach all in his own rights, and he is going to be is one of the two, varsity head coach at a local high school. We shouldn't say the name on the show. Well, we can. I'll let him say the name. I'm not getting in trouble. But you guys, I'm so excited to welcome my very, very, very special guest who I'm so excited that he agreed to come on the show. Mr. Coach Juan Andrade is here on The Public Affair. How you doing?
Good. Thank you.
You're sweating. Now, are you nervous or are you drunk?
I think I'm nervous, a little bit of nervous.
Yeah, well, you're the one who told me bring 2 mimosas, so I don't know how this episode's gonna go now. I was trying to be nice.
I think it was just gonna be so we can have a little bit of something to drink.
You know, Juan, do you find it exhausting sometimes? Because you're a renowned coach, and surely there is an image that some people make you think you have to uphold, but you just like to let loose. I've hung out with you guys personally. You know what I mean? Y'all like to just party and drink like that. Do you ever find the pressure to have to be somebody that you're not, or are you just staying true to yourself at all times?
No, I think it's just in front of public is you have to be able to respect the people around you, of course.
Sure.
And respect yourself, but I love to party. I love to have fun as well, but that's off the clock.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, you've been there. You've been
I have
there.
been there. Yes, I have.
But I won't do it, during the day or during working hours.
Well, no, of course not. Yeah, as a teacher, I didn't say were you drinking at school.
No.
But I'm just saying, as a in your profession, I feel like people can be very simple-minded, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and we are inspirations in our own rights. But don't get me wrong, if you see me at the club, legs is going to be spread. On or off the clock. That's what I do. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just, and I do want to thank you guys. Y'all have always been real kind with me. We've met through Soko Soccer Academy, which huge shout out to Coach Dominic, who we all love and respect so much. And you guys had me at your house. I think it was post Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
Because that's when I had Robert Frog on the show.
Yeah.
Juan was scared this episode was going to be like Robert Frog. Y'all go check that episode. No, I saw Sis over there, and I was like, oh, I didn't know you know this family, and he does. And you guys were always very nice with me, so I just want to thank you guys for your hospitality and our respect with one another, truly, and I'm grateful to have you on the Public Affair.
No problem.
Yes, so let's get into it now. All right. So Coach Juan is a really well-respected soccer coach here in town, I think it's fair to say. And, things I'm sure didn't always start that way. And I've interviewed plenty of soccer coaches. I've talked to lots of soccer coaches. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that I just would love your perspective about, because I do feel like you're veteran. Okay. I do feel like, somebody who's a little bit older than us, not throwing no shade or your age out there, but you are older than us, so you see things in a different perspective. And I would love to get into all that here in just a minute. But before you do so, were you from here? Like, were things always easy growing up for you? And
No. I was born and raised in Chalchihuita, Zacatecas.
Oh, okay.
I was born there. I came to the States when I was 10 years old.
Right.
So no, I mean, I've always been playing soccer since I was 4 years old. I can remember, but the soccer community I think it has been getting bigger now.
Yes, absolutely.
There's more, teams. There's more players that want to play soccer.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking all different races. I have always remember just being Hispanic.
Right, yeah.
But now it's like
everybody playing soccer.
Everybody that wants to play soccer, which is beautiful.
Absolutely.
But no, yes. I think the biggest thing that I see here is we fight as well, I don't say we. I have never done it. Some of those coaches have done it a lot. They fight between each other for players, which is something that I think we need to stop as a small community.
You know what? Yes. I love that you're jumping around. We can get right into that if you like. No, I've heard that. Okay, so I had coaches on this show before. Big shout out to Rafa, to Jacob, and to Juan, who loved sitting next to me on the Public Affair, by the way. And, we did talk a little bit about that, about coaches. And, I feel like with the sport and with anything that you do, there's always a politic behind it, right? And everybody's always just trying to be the best and stuff like that. And it would appear that some people, focus more on just recruiting all-star players, for that matter, without putting in the work to actually train them. Do you know what I mean? I kind of wanted to get your perspective on that in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
In just a minute, because I feel like, for your opinion to be validated, we need to know how Juan started grassroots.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about your coaching beginnings, though.
Yeah,
that way, when he does clock his tea with you guys, it can be validated in that source. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Let's do it. So your coaching beginnings, talk to me about that.
Well, the way I started coaching was actually through my oldest daughter, which is now she's 20 years old.
Yeah.
We started through hot soccer.
Is y'all's daughter 20?
Yes. Oh. My oldest is 20.
Y'all look like y'all are 20.
Yeah. I know. But so we started through hot soccer.
Sure.
I was not going to coach. It was actually my wife. She started it. I was busy working a corporate world, which I didn't have. I didn't have time, for anything. Absolutely. I was always working. But then just one day decided to go to practice, and I'm looking at the practice that they're running, and it was like, I think I could do this.
Sure.
So I was like, hey, let me step in a little bit.
Were
Start.
you pretty opinionated in the beginning? Were
I-
you one? He was one of
I
those, right?
was, yeah,
Had the
I
answers
was.
to everything, but you're like in the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I started, basically putting my input into that and
Yeah.
start moving her to the side,
Yes.
moving her to the side. And at the end, I'm taking over a team, which is
Sure.
for hot soccer, recreational, but we went on all 4 of our daughters
Mhm.
play soccer. So we have always started with hot soccer, then go from there. But that's the way I started with the competitive soccer. I started with my oldest, the second one, and just kept going.
I kept going. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Yeah. You know what? And so good for you, because now you're coaching you're coaching the Texans,
Yes.
which I believe my barber's daughter plays for that, Lexi. If I'm not.
Yes,
yeah,
Lexi plays with the 14 girls with Coach
Correct.
Ashley. Yeah.
Okay, yes, that's true. And you're also doing your own skills training and everything like that. But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the soccer community, because you mentioned something earlier.
Mhm.
While it's so great that the sport is growing, and in my personal opinion, just being in this show and being so involved in the sport, I want to say that Soko had a lot to do with that. I really feel like Soko put like a lot of that on the map as far as having its own facility to do
Yes.
so and things like that. I mean, sure, you had the HOT and everything like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I feel like Soko was just bringing a lot more authenticity. But soccer is real rough. It's a
Yes.
very competitive sport. It gives me
Yes.
anxiety, right? I can't go to the games. Everybody don't know how to act, and they're always fighting.
Yeah.
Has it always been that way, or is it just we don't know how to act?
No, it has always been like that.
It has
'Cause
always been that way. Okay.
Even me as a player
Mhm.
playing at the Soco Fields now, right?
Yeah.
It used to be what was it, Juan Lopez Fields, but now it's Soco Fields.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, it's always been crazy.
Okay.
Fights everywhere.
Was that you too?
Uh,
Did you throw them hands too, Juan? Just tell us the truth.
yeah. I think I had a couple games that it was pretty rough.
Sure.
That I did.
Do you think that sometimes though it's a lot like it's really unnecessary?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And most of the times they're always trying to blame the ref.
That, yes.
Right?
Okay.
Trying to blame the ref, and at the end, and just going back and forth for a small little kick that one did, and now
Mhm.
the other one's coming and trying to do elbows in the face or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So, yeah, I think it's just sometimes they take it overboard.
Okay, I got you.
Uh,
One thing that kind of bugs me though, I guess I can see the players, it gets real. It's like a very big contact sport.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
But
yes.
what's your opinion on the coaches acting out of character? Because I've seen that too, right? I've seen coaches win the game and then still want to fight everybody. Like, go drink and celebrate. What are you
Yeah,
doing? You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, I've seen that, and it was just so baffling to me. Like, you should take your win, congratulate with your team, and move on. But no, they still pick fights with the other people. I wonder
Yeah.
what your perspective is on that.
I think that's as a coach, now that I've been
Yes.
coaching for so long,
Say it, just
over
say it.
15, 16 years,
Yes.
that is childish to be doing.
Absolutely.
That's something that you're not supposed to do.
Hmm.
Because one, your players are looking at it as well.
Yeah.
And I'm talking adults and
I was gonna
coaching little
ask.
kids.
Absolutely.
Coaching both,
Right.
coaching kids or coaching adults. It's just you're disrespecting your team and disrespecting all the families around you.
Yeah.
So it's not good.
Do you think that there's a certain level of decorum that the coach has to uphold versus the players? Like we mentioned earlier, the players, it's a little bit more contact. So I guess in the heat of the moment, listen, I've seen these guys put each other in headlocks and then go have a beer right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
Punch
yeah.
each other in the mouth, and then all of a sudden they're still best friends.
Yeah, correct,
But
correct.
for the coach to act in that manner, you know what I mean? I feel like they're the head of the team, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, like
correct.
they're the ones who are supposed to have control and keep everything in line. And in more than one instance, like I told you earlier, Juan, I've seen these coaches win a game, and whether
And
it be
still-
because they're drunk or they're just hotheads, are still picking fights. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? That doesn't make no sense to me. If I win a Waco Award, I'm not going to go fight the other podcasters.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So,
I think, of your question, answering your
Mhm.
question, I think I have never coached an adult team.
Oh, really?
No,
Okay.
never. So I'm always been with kids. But me thinking as being, I'm just saying, thinking coaching an adult team is like you say, you're given that drunk vibe.
Yeah.
After you started talking smack of the other team or the other players,
Right, right.
But with the kids, is my biggest thing is, I guess, because you also got to take classes. You got to
Mhm.
get licenses and stuff.
Oh,
like that. And they
sure.
tell you,
right.
it's like us coaches got to be able to have a standard,
Yeah.
a real high standard because everybody's looking at you.
Right.
So,
They put y'all through courses, don't
yes,
they?
yeah.
Yeah,
You have
I've
to have
seen, I've
courses.
seen that. I'm like, not the test.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. My last license was actually like 4 months long. Yeah, it's 4 months of nothing but studying, taking tests,
Sure.
on site where we're
Mhm.
actually I have to travel to Dallas to go get all that stuff done.
Right.
So I mean, I think the coaches that actually love to do this,
Mhm.
they got to go through that. Make sure they
Absolutely.
get their licenses
Absolutely.
because that teaches just so much different, different perspective of the game,
Right.
of how to coach
How
better.
to act, period.
Yeah, how to act.
How to
correct.
represent your team.
Yes,
How
yes,
to-
yes.
Do you feel like, let's say there's a coach that wins, and I'm just speaking like on a hypothetical off the top of my head because you're raising some very good points. And see, this is why I love interviewing Coach Juan because he's seasoned. So I hope y'all bitches are taking notes. I do. He needs another drink for that one here. Get your flowers, Juan, okay, bitch? Yeah, it's okay. Right, Amy. Amy said we're going to toasted yolk after this. Anyway, she says she's off too. Listen, do you think for a coach, let's say there's a coach that wins the championship, right? And their team performs flawlessly, okay? But they still act that way. Whether it's picking a fight or they're acting reckless on the field or things like that. Do you think that still pulls value from the team? Do you think that they're able to achieve an actual victory? No.
No,
Okay.
you actually took everything that team just did, which is win the whole champion and all that.
Right.
That's taking it away.
That's
from
just
them.
for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing.
You can have the trophy all day. But,
Correct.
Yeah.
But you still, everybody that around you is gonna look at you like, wow, you just act like donkeys, like clowns and stuff,
Right,
so it's
right.
like you got to be able to set a standard for you and the team as well.
Right.
So. And your parents, I'll tell you that from
sure.
coaching little kids is your parents got to act right too.
Okay. Do you ever have to find yourself checking some parents sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Do you ever get pushback for that?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Take that back.
Okay.
And I think it was my oldest 2 daughters' teams.
Mhm.
So it's been over 10 years.
Yeah.
I think one parent was like, "Why? Why are you telling me to be quiet?" Dude, you're supposed to stay quiet on the sideline.
Okay.
You don't tell the referee anything, you
Right.
know. But I mean, I guess that's the reason why you host meetings before
Sure.
the league starts, and you tell them your expectations and
Yeah.
rules and all that, and it comes with the respect again.
Yeah.
You got to be able to give respect from the parents.
Hello.
And you got to respect them as well.
Yes. Have you ever found yourself in a position where you had to maybe kick somebody off the team because of their parents' conduct, or has it always been? Has it always gotten to the point where you're able to like mediate it?
I have quit a team.
Oh.
Not kicked the
He
bear now.
said he did not. Oh, okay. He didn't get kicked off either. He quit.
I quit a team.
Yeah.
Left the team
Okay.
because of some of the parents' behaviors.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't want to change.
Were you coach of that team too, or were you?
Yeah,
just
I
like
was a coach.
You
Yes.
were the coach.
I was
Okay,
a coach. Some of the parents didn't want to change.
Yeah. Okay.
So instead of me, going back and forth all the time, I said, you know what?
Right.
Let me just go ahead and remove myself from that.
I agree with you 100%. We just don't know how to act these days. Listen, me at 33 years old and Coach Juan at 35 years old, we are so. I am so disgusted with how parents act these days. And listen, I have seen it at games, with the kids especially. I've seen, again, I'm very heavily involved with the Soca soccer team. Shout out to my bro, Coach Maro Maldonado. And, I've seen them have talks with the parents and stuff like that. And they've acknowledged and they grow from it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
They grow from it. And I've seen them evolve so much. I'm speaking on this team individually. I've seen them evolve so much in their conduct and just their kids too and stuff like that and how they act at games. But I guess in the heat of the moment. But what was the breaking point for you to say, I'm out? Like, y'all don't want to listen. We're done.
After a couple meetings.
Okay.
With the individual parents, and it was like, hey, you know what? This was going on. You're not listening.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't, when I left the team, I was like, you know what? It takes a lot for me to just say I'm giving the team away because of the kids,
Right.
But it's just some of the parents that are just not. They're not understanding. They're not listening.
They don't realize they're taking these opportunities from their kids.
From
but
all
at
their
the same
kids.
time, they're sponges.
Correct.
I think I will credit why I've grown as an individual because I can't just be going in front of kids talking about inappropriate things.
Correct.
Like what me and Robert Frocker are talking about in public affairs. You know what I mean? I can't just be doing that. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's
and
right.
they don't understand. Like we are a representative. We're like what these kids are looking up to.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? And if your parents are acting that way, y'all think it's cute. Y'all think we think it's cute, and it's not.
No.
Same goes for the coaches. Your daughters were there. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Why you even have daughters? I thought you were gay. But it's just so when you look at your peers, right? Who you played soccer with growing up versus now, do you think that you've grown in the same like thought process as you have, or do you think some of them are just kind of stood in their irresponsible ways in terms of still being reckless on the field and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, some of the people that I do still talk to right now, that I know them from back in the days. I think they have changed.
Okay.
But I mean, again, I'm so busy with soccer work, now I'm getting this new job.
Right.
I don't have time to hang around with so many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I'm always hanging around with people that are in the same field, which is soccer most of the time.
Sure.
Again, like you say, Soko, Dominique.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always with either we're with them or, some of the other soccer coaches, soccer community. But the people that are not involved with soccer, I hardly talk to them.
Sure, right. Well, your whole life is revolved around that. Is there a pressure behind that though, Juan? Do you ever feel like sometimes you just need a break?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, you can love what you do, yeah.
When I say break is like this past weekend.
Yeah.
We didn't have games.
Okay.
I went to go celebrate my birthday.
Yeah.
We went to Austin. It felt good.
Yeah.
Was
it just you and Amy? Was it just you and Amy?
No, it was me and Amy and some of our friends. No.
Friends.
We didn't have kids.
Okay. I was gonna say, y'all. I mean, you need to let loose.
Yeah. We went to go see. She bought tickets for the Temerarios.
Okay.
Temerarios concert was on Friday.
Sure.
She rented a.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Rented an Airbnb and we stayed there Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
We explored, just chill.
Can I ask you a question? Because we've really touched heavily on the conduct that some of the coaches portray on and off the field. You know what I mean? Do you ever find yourself in a position of counselor where you kind of have to talk to these people like, yo, let me talk to you on the side real quick. Why are you acting that way? You know what I mean? Do you find an obligation as a veteran coach, as a seasoned coach, as a coach who's done it for more than 15 years?
More than 15 years.
Right? Since I was a teenager. Right?
Yep.
And I knew Robert Frogger in high school. So for somebody who holds that title, do you ever find yourself in a position to be like, yo, let me talk to you, come over, or do you just stay out of it?
No, I have.
Okay.
I have talked to some of the coaches that were in the same club. Some of the coaches that have never been in the same club as me, I hardly, let them know. But the coaches that are in the same club, wherever club I've been in, hey, you're going a little crazy, calm down.
Right.
Or they have told me the same thing,
Okay.
And that's how I've been changing.
Sure.
But yeah, I think that's the best thing, especially if they're in the same club as you.
Right.
Hey, talk to each other. Communicate with each other as coaches. Be like, hey, I think you're doing this wrong. Change it.
And I'm really happy that you said that earlier about, their conduct really represents what the team actually stands for. Because I do feel like in the one instance that I saw the coach acting out of character, even though you won the whole fucking thing, I was like, you just, in my opinion, maybe the team didn't think this way. Yeah. But just as a novice in it, right? As a bystander, as somebody that was sitting in the sidelines, I was like, what a way to celebrate a victory as for you to pick a fight with other teams. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Why don't I would take my team out? We would get these $8 mimosas, okay, and we would just drink and have our trophy on Snapchat, and then hit up Robert, and then we'll have a good old time. You know what I mean? That's it. And so I'm really happy that you had that perspective.
Correct.
On it. Yeah.
Yeah. It just it's ugly to see. Because you love the sport,
right?
You love what you do as a coach, and then you see stuff like that.
It's just so crazy.
It's not right.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I mean, even if you talk to, I guess some of the coaches or even parents that have their kids at a high level, the way coaches act, nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Right. I see.
They're real quiet. They're real,
Absolutely.
Real presentable. Like you say, you see them and like, oh, I know who that is.
Right. They're not in there in basketball shorts and a t-shirt from last night.
Yes.
Yes.
No, you're right about
From when
that.
they left my house. But anyway, we'll get that to in a minute. Coach Juan wants to talk a lot about stealing kids. He wants us to talk a little bit more about the soccer politics, and I do too. I want to dive right into it. But we're going to take a quick break because we need to refill our glasses. And when we get back, we're going to have more with Coach Juan, his veteran career as a soccer coach and what he's got going on next. We are here with Coach Juan Andrade on The Public Affair. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Hey Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, veteran coach Juan Andrade is here on The Public Affair. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity. I just got to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. You know we're not going to go on without thanking Soko Soccer Academy. But Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez offering the best in skills training, team sports, small group and individual skills training, child daycare center, which is one of the most superior in Central Texas. And I say that with all due confidence. Soko Soccer Academy is definitely that business that you guys need to get your kids involved in so that way they are active, that way they are social, and that way they are doing something constructive with their time. Make sure you guys hit up Dominic Gutierrez, Ariana Gutierrez at the number on the screen for more information. I also want to give a huge shout out to Coach Mauro Maldonado, Coach Megan, Coach Jeff for allowing me to sponsor the Soko Soccer teams. I truly think that those kids are doing something phenomenal. The coaches are very, very phenomenal coaches, and I'm so grateful to be a part of those teams. So thank you guys again so much for all you do for me and The Public Affair. Of course, the Bandas hauling service with Julian and Banda. They rent dump trailers. You fill it up, they haul it away. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town. They're also offering free, not free. Restart that one. Fuck, I said free. Of course, I want to give a huge shout out to Bandas hauling service with Julian and Banda. They rent dump trailers. You fill it up, and they haul it away. That's right. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town. They're also offering roll-off dumpster services as well. So when you guys are having those big giant Mexican parties and there's beer cans all over the floor and everything because you guys didn't hire a roll-off dumpster, make sure you guys remember that I told you to hire Bandas hauling service with the number on the screen. They are 100% reliable and they can always be counted on. Book now with the number on the screen. Thank you to Bandas hauling service for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Jeffrey Montreal with Pollo Box and Audio Home for all your LED needs and audio accessories and installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He is the reason why I was bumping that Christina Aguilera and Kate Ross the other day. Okay, with my bass. Yes, I was. Yeah, I don't care. Y'all didn't think that those songs can bass, but they do. All right, they do. He's your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. And the reason why I also have my tent on my car, and I'm not going to tell you guys what I was also doing at Kate Ross too, with the tent in my car. So make sure you guys book now with the number on the screen of Pollo Box and Audio. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Oh my goodness. And of course, to one of my new sponsors, Al Gutierrez, Adriana Gutierrez with Chefito's Kitchen, serving the best in Latin cuisine on food that I pretty much grew up on. I am loving the arroz con gandules, the penne. I'm loving the plátano maduro. I'm loving the Cuban sandwiches and so much more. Make sure you guys follow their social media at Chefito's Kitchen for daily specials as well. Check them out at Union Grove and tell them that I sent you. If you guys want to place an order online, you can do so on DoorDash, Grubhub, and more. Chefito's Kitchen, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys, we're right back into this episode. My very special guest, Coach Juan, thank you so much for coming.
You're
I truly
welcome.
appreciate it. I do. You know, all that stuff that I said off camera, I just want you to take what I was just trying to be funny. I really meant it, though, what I said about that one person. But, one thing that we were talking about, as a veteran coach, Joe, because I feel like you could be 15 years in any game and still be lackluster.
Correct.
Right? What do you think credits yourself as such a notable coach here in town?
I think, it's just the develop of the how fast I develop a kid.
Okay.
I have had so many of I've coached most of the times girls teams.
Sure.
And all my girls have always played at the different high schools, and you can just tell the difference between my players to other players.
To other players, okay.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've been, that's been separated from there. It's
Sure.
like, who did you play for? That girl's good. It's like, the development. I think the structure that I have, I'm so strict on the players.
Sure.
And that takes into why they're getting built so fast.
Okay.
Build a little bit better.
Sure. I understand. Do you think it's harder? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
No, I was going to say, do you think it's harder to build sportsmanship or skill? When I say sportsmanship, how you conduct yourself on the field, on and off, versus skill, because you could be like a phenomenal, attacker, defender, whatever, but you can have a shitty attitude.
You know what? That is something hard to fix also. You can have some really, really good players.
Yeah.
And I have had them, but with just shitty attitudes.
Sure.
And that is one of the things that that is hard. It's hard to fix.
Yeah.
Because that comes also from the parents.
I was gonna say.
You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
you can have a conversation with the parent. Hey, this was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Great player, but the attitude is just bad.
It's just not there.
It's not gonna. And also, I always talk to them about they want to go play for college.
Mhm.
Okay, college recruiters, college coaches are not gonna put up with none of that.
Right.
You know, they could be the greatest players in the world, but
Right.
the attitude comes a long way. So I try to do that a lot. I try to, every time I coach a kid, it's always, hey, face up, make sure you're looking at a person. But I mean, it's hard. It's hard.
Do you ever find yourself in a position where a kid was maybe uncoachable?
In the beginning, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But after a couple months, it has changed.
Yeah.
It has changed, especially if, after y'all tell them, hey, you're going to do 10 suicides.
Oh, okay.
Or 10 sprints. And after that, for a couple months, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, I need to change. So,
Can I share a story?
Yeah.
I remember... I'm new to the soccer community,
Yes.
right? Since the public affair, I don't play soccer. I'm on camera. I'm a showman, all right? Like, I'm on the red carpet interviews. But,
Yes.
I remember I went to go see the Soco soccer team, the Soco Divas, with Coach Morrow. And I remember we were at a tournament. I cannot remember the tournament. Oh, my God, please don't be mad at me. But I remember they were playing up a team from Dallas or something. And I said, so how do y'all think they're going to do? And they're like, oh, the team's going to get creamed. And it was explaining to me the girls have gotten so comfortable with winning all their games that they don't realize what it's like to lose.
Correct.
So we're about to humble them. And he did it in a way like almost knowing that they were going to lose, but also like, I need y'all to get your heads back together.
Yeah.
Do you know? And the other team, oh my God, they creamed the Divas. You know what I mean? And I remember him having a very stern talk with them afterwards. Like, I hope that this was humbling for you guys. There's always going to be somebody out there, with teamwork, that's better. You know what I mean?
Better, of course.
You guys can't just be thinking, oh, because you beat all these teams that all of a sudden you're on top of the world.
Yes.
You guys have got to maintain good teamwork and stuff like that.
Correct.
I wonder what your perspective on stuff like that is.
No. That's exactly what right now what I'm going with the 2014 girls that I have.
Okay.
So we have the same age, me and Mauro.
Oh, okay.
But now my team is playing, classic right now, classic elite level.
Sure.
And yes, of course, I put him. I think December last year was my check to all the parents and the kids because they thought their kids were like they were the shit, all of them.
Okay, yeah.
So I put them against the higher level. We play the number 1 in the nation.
Yeah.
And we lost 2-0.
Oh yeah, that's
that's when it checks for the parents and the kids. It's like, y'all gotta calm down.
Relax.
We got a long way to go.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like, those are the things that I love. I love doing stuff like that.
That's
too,
good. Okay. Well, it's important to humble.
Correct.
Especially at that young age.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
All right, let's start talking shit. So, not talking shit. You wanted to get right into it the minute we started the show. All right. It's like he couldn't wait to get that off his chest. All right. Let's talk about the conduct that teams, coaches, or whatever present. We talked about the fighting. We talked about, the drunk, belligerent, whatever the case is. It would seem when I had the guys, Fuego FC on the show, very, very great coaches, by the way. I love them.
Yes.
And one of the things that they harped on a lot was, other coaches, maybe because they either lack the skill to train kids or just because they want the easy way out. I don't know what the situation is. That's why I need your perspective. But a lot of coaches will only recruit like all-star players, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? So they're scouting the kids that are already good and then building an all-star team rather than just taking kids that are grassroots.
Correct.
And saying, I'm going to teach you as a coach and build your character, build your sportsmanship, I wonder what your perspective is. I hate to use this word, but I'm just going to say it because this is just what's always laid on the table for me, and they said it on the show. The coach is stealing other kids.
Yeah. I have been on both sides.
Okay.
I have been on the sides that I started with as an individual club with one team, and now as a coach for the Texans, which is we have over 25 teams.
Yeah.
So it's been both ways, which is when you're a single team, other teams are going to try to steal your players.
Okay.
And then when you're in the big clubs, now we're not. It sounds and it looks from whenever you're at the bottom as a single team, like Fuego, right? I'm just going to put them example.
Sure.
Because we used to call ourselves America Juniors. And when other clubs, which is Texans, used to come and try to, or it was BBB also, try to take my players. That will offer them, of course, hey, you're going to be in a big club. You're going to be, I can give you a scholarship, stuff like that. Which now I'm with the Texans, and it's basically I'm doing that, but I'm not really doing that because I had over 42 kids try out for my team.
Right.
Now it does look like it's that I'm recruiting.
Okay.
But if I like a player, all you're doing is asking them, "Hey, come and try out.
Right.
Come and watch this team play, and see what you think."
Right.
You know. So I mean, I get where they're coming from. I get where Fuego brought that up. Again, I was in both fields.
Sure. Okay.
I know all three of the coaches from Fuego.
Do you think there's a nuance to it then? Do you think that, I mean, because it sounds like you're saying, and I want to ask you, is it even smart or discourteous to do so? Where you're purposely trying to take only good players? I mean, do you think it says a lot about that coach? Do you where maybe they lack the skill set to develop a player?
I'll tell you from experience that I've seen so much. Yes, some coaches lack on coaching.
Right.
And what they're going to do, they're just going to go get the best ones.
Right.
Which that doesn't tell that you're the best coach. It just tells you that your players are better.
What it looks like to me is that you're a smart business person, but you're not a good coach.
That is correct.
You know what I mean? So
correct.
you would be a great car salesman.
Yeah. I mean, because even right now, the club that I have that I'm in, there's some coaches that don't have it.
Sure.
And what I'm saying is that don't have it. They don't have the skills.
He just needs more drinks to loosen up.
They don't have the skills to develop. Now, there's some coaches that are coaching individual also that don't have it.
Right.
That they're single teams and don't have it either.
Okay.
So it's just one of those things that it's funny to say that they're stealing it, but if the parent sees that, hey, you know what, I think my kid's gonna develop their better,
right,
do it.
So do you think it's, well, I mean, I think it's kind of like weird to put a kid in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be like, what do you think of this team?
Yeah.
And we can offer you Chick-fil-A once a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to coaching, I feel like when it comes to anything, there has to be value in what you do.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Y'all were saying off camera how much you love the way I speak and how I enunciate my words.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And things like that. So as a coach, when I look at a coach, when I think of a coach, I need to see you coaching my kid.
Correct.
When my kid sucks, I need you to tell me my kid sucks.
Yes.
Go tell him that he's good. I don't need a team with all stars and you didn't even start from grassroots.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So you don't possess the skill
to
be a coach. You possess the skill of being a really good salesperson.
That's right.
Which is why you should go sell advertisements for radio or go sell me a car.
Yep.
That
makes sense. Yeah, that's true.
So does it bug you when you see a coach carry that title but not actually exemplify the work?
It does.
Okay.
It does bug me because, again, I didn't start from a big club. When I started coaching, coaching from hot soccer.
Right.
Then I moved myself to select. Well, it was Academy Select, where a matter of fact, I was already with Texans my second year that I started coaching.
Okay.
I didn't like it. Didn't like it because I didn't know nothing about it.
Sure,
I just started grassroots again.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. So what I did, I removed myself. Then we started again with the Select, but it was now our individual teams.
Right.
Right. So like the same thing that Fuego's doing. I think Brujos is doing it here. Soco's doing. I mean, individual teams.
Sure.
That's the way I started too.
Absolutely.
But now that I've been in the field of coaching for different clubs, I like the club vibe. Why? Because you have so many resources.
Okay.
If you don't have enough players, they'll let you borrow players. I was with BBB, did the same thing.
Oh, so y'all like a unity.
Yeah, it's like a unit. And versus by yourself, you're struggling. If you don't have players, you can't play.
Sure. Okay.
And that's what we did a long time. I mean, we did it for, I think, 3-4 years with the 2004 girls.
Right.
Great team. Great girls.
It was just hard. And I just want you to know, when it comes to Coach Juan Andrade, I've never heard of anything towards malice about you. Excuse me, the mimosa. Sorry. I've never heard anything that was centered around malice with you in terms of stealing coaches and stuff like that. But, I am very involved in the community and I've heard conversations be taking place and, they watched me, develop this kid. They watched me train this kid. Now they're doing their own thing and they want to take that kid when they had nothing to do with it.
Correct.
So I wonder, I guess it's kind of relatable to the last question that I just asked you. It doesn't add value to that person as a coach.
Correct.
Do you think that they can call themselves a coach?
Well, it can add value to that coach if they change the kid even more. If they put more value on that kid. I mean, if the kids already come in, say they're coming to my team, they're super good.
Coach Juan, let me ask you a damn question because now I'm lit and I'm loose-lipped. A coach that steals players and only steals the all-star players and makes an all-star team but doesn't develop the kid, are they a coach? I don't care what. Yeah, okay.
No, there it goes.
I don't care what no title.
No.
This is that. Okay,
No.
you know what I mean? You can have a microphone in front of you all day, doesn't make you a podcaster. You know what I'm talking
That's
about?
correct. That's
Yeah,
what I'm telling you.
it doesn't make you, yeah.
No.
So they're not.
You got to be able to coach them. You got to be able to develop them. You got to be able to do them, you know, from the bottom up. I mean,
I am so getting jumped after this. And I don't give a shit. Let's go.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
Okay, they're not. Mm-hmm.
and especially if they're in the same level that you grabbed them,
Mm-hmm.
that you took them in.
Right.
No. But if you already put them in a level that they're progressing every year.
Right. As in, if you recruited them from another team and you're developing them, developing them further.
Yeah.
Then
Now that's a coach.
Absolutely.
Now that's a coach.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. Okay.
Because again, like me, a good example right now. I'm grabbing girls. I didn't grab. I had tryouts.
Right.
Over 42 kids, you know, came in. I picked girls from Hot Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll total 8 different teams.
Yeah.
They came in the picture with me.
Sure.
We went. We started Arlington League last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're playing in the classic elite level. They didn't just develop by them being them.
Well, they could have been good in the team that they were in before.
They were good in their
but then
team.
you made them. You grew them.
I grew them.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's
absolutely.
That's the thing as a coach.
I agree.
You know?
So there's the nuance
Yes.
that we're talking about when it comes to stealing players.
Correct.
There's one thing that you can recruit a player, and if I'm wrong, y'all got to DM me and correct me. Don't DM me trying to talk about where you are. I'm gonna jump you. Don't please, because you know I can't throw hands. But what I'm saying is, there's a. I'm just gonna take you from this one team out of malice because you're good, and there's nothing else that I can do for you. I just want to show them that I can steal.
Yeah.
But then there's hey, we are just offering a little bit more opportunity in terms of growth.
Yep.
And then I feel like, do you think that kid and or parent should have a talk with that current coach? And you know what I mean? And say, hey, I just feel like maybe it's time for them to move on.
Yep.
And there can be a healthy conversation
Correct.
that's had there, right?
Correct.
Okay.
You should always, before any player comes even to hey, coach, I would like to play for you. No. Y'all better go talk to your parents.
Okay. We did talk about that.
Talk to the coach.
There needs to be a
before
conversation.
you even come to me.
So do you think the coaches need to have a conversation?
No.
Okay, so it should be the parent and the coach.
Because at the end of the day, that's your kid.
Okay.
You want
I
to
agree.
say, you know what I mean? You want to come to my team,
Right.
or you were gonna leave to other team. That's
Listen,
you.
I've seen some soccer coaches that don't even look like they can run from here to that door. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I really don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't give a
that's
shit.
true.
And
That's
I'm like,
true.
what are you fist to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you look at some of those people and think the same thing?
Yes, I do.
I need to stop.
Yes, I
really
do.
Yeah.
No, I do.
Okay, you do.
And guess what?
I don't want this to be a messy show.
I was just talking to Dominique today about that.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So
I love
we were
Dominic.
just-
Love Dominic. Go ahead.
We were just talking about it
Yeah.
because he's like, hey, we got to hit it hard. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm out there and
No, you look good.
Well, yeah,
you
but-
lost some weight since I seen you in November when I was with the gays in San Antonio doing my. You know what I mean? That's why I came to your house. I was with the gays and we were doing up our friend's room because it was their anniversary. Yes, we did, and we had a gay. We didn't do anything gay in there. We just we had a gay time decorating the room, and then I came back and came to your house. Yeah, you look good. I'm not hitting on him. Amy, stop this. Stop this. No, but you're right. Like, I think presentation.
presentation, it's a big part of what you do also.
Absolutely.
It's like if you go to an interview right now for a job,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to go, like you say earlier, in gym shorts
and a t-shirt
and
from
flip
yesterday.
flops and a t-shirt that's all wrinkled, right?
And
you're
so
not
when
gonna
you're
do
coaching games, you can't be doing that neither because I'm like,
That's
yo, who
cool.
is this drunk person?
That's right.
Oh, that's the coach. The coach? What are you talking about? I don't even come to the public affair in my pajamas, bro.
That's right.
Like, what you mean?
Yeah. That's a big part. No, that's what I'm saying. No. You don't have to You don't have to be quiet.
I'm not going to
This
be
is
quiet.
your show.
Yeah, absolutely
But,
it is, bitch.
you know, that's
absolutely it is. I'm tired of being quiet. No, I am. Go
no,
ahead,
but
Coach. Yeah.
it's exactly what it is. You cannot
Presentation's
go,
everything.
Presentation's everything.
Presentation's everything. And I've seen
You
these.
know?
Listen, I'm sorry. I've seen these coaches.
Yeah.
And I've seen the way some of them. Now, some of them look really good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not going to name that one coach who I do want to sleep with, but I do. You know, there's coaches that I've seen that have presented the behavior that we were just talking about in terms of allegedly stealing players and stuff like that. And I look at them and I'm just like, how are you pushing the kids to run, but you don't look like you can even get up and walk? Like, I'm so confused. You know what I mean? And so I do feel that way. I feel like when I look at a coach, right, I want them to look like Coach Juan Andrade, who presents himself. He gets dressed up, you know, in the part, does his hair. He can run the mile with me. Do you know? I'm talking to your wife. Like she's on the show. You know what I'm talking about? And then there's the coach that's just over there eating the cheeseburger and large Coke. With French fries, telling the
Showing
kids
up
what
late.
Showing up late, drunk. Because they were with me prior. So I know I'm clocking that T too. You know what I mean? And it's just,
it's true.
There's no value to that person as a coach. There's not.
You have to be able to, again, you have to be able to put value on yourself, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was like, who's calling you?
No.
Okay.
That was a text.
Okay.
But yeah, you have to. And
Yeah,
you have to be able to present yourself. And again, that comes with your parents are going to see that.
Absolutely.
Other parents are going to see that. You know what? I want my kid there. Why? Because that coach is
absolutely
like he has this.
Yeah. Wait, you need to get on the mic. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Just sit right here next to him and use his mic. It's fine. Amy has something to add. No. Can she stand? Just be all up on him. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you talk in his mic so we can catch that. I'm being dead ass. You have to talk in his mic.
You want to move it?
Yeah, there you go.
No, I was just going to add that I think that mainly we have this unique opportunity within our community to be able and desire to want to be part of a soccer program.
Sure.
And I think that the biggest problem that we have here in our own community is because you have a lot of people who want to wear the different hats or want to wear the specific hat, but nobody really wants to be united.
Sure.
And I think that that is one of the biggest structure from being in an organization and a club that's bigger than us, in a city that's bigger than us, because there is structure.
Absolutely.
There is organization. There is group meetings. Everyone's in for a common goal, right? And so then here we are in Waco, in a community where everyone has different reasons to be a coach.
Okay.
Everyone has different reasons to be there, right?
Absolutely.
And I think it just takes a lot, or from what I can see, I'm just an observer, and just from viewing the different coaches, the different teams within our own community, you're right. We see a lot of that. We see that there is coaches that are in a sense, you know, they're not real coaches,
right? Because
of the fact that it doesn't take just putting on some tennis shoes and going out to practice.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
It takes more than that. But one of the biggest key things that I feel like they miss is that they're dealing with true lives, real bodies, souls who want and desire to be better, and want and aspire and enjoy to be in soccer, regardless if it is to potentially play in you know, collegiate level or professional level. They're there because they desire it. And so if you're a coach and you want to genuinely be part of that and help that person grow, sure, and their parents within that journey, then do that. Yeah. We've been on both sides where we've had our kids be competitive and go out and being able to look for better teams or better resources for them. And then once here, like even I know earlier he kidded about, you know, humbling some parents and players, but what it did was it not just humbled them, but it sparked an ignition in them, a desire to say, I'm going to be better and I'm going to do better because I want to. Right. So they started doing their own personal training. They started adding additional practices. So it's the structure of being able to do that. And I think that is the key to a successful coach. It's not just your appearance. It's not just being able to have the skills and the time to be able to be there, but have the desire. The true desire within themselves to know that they are a mentor, and anything and everything that they're doing, it's going to reflect on that specific player.
Agree with you 100%. Amy, you said a mouthful. And she did. She said it. She's right. She's absolutely right. Which leads me to my next question. Your mic. Amy, you can stand right there, girl. I don't know if you're on frame or not, but whatever. You know, Coach, with that being said, why do you continue after all these years to continue to coach? What does it mean for you and what you're providing to the kid?
I think just I love for kids to be able to grow as soccer players. I love the
Mhm.
game. I mean, I truly love it. I love watching it. But I think the biggest thing is the joy of a kid and the joy of a parent that coming up to me and say, "Hey,
Mhm.
thank you so much," because I already have 6 girls that are in college
Right.
that I coach since they were little.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that I think that's one of the biggest things. Also, after the hard work, results is just when they come and say, "Hey, because of you,
They,
I'm here."
I got it.
So
Even if it's just one kid.
even
Yeah.
if it's just one kid.
Mhm.
Again, I don't have that many kids that are in college, but
Yeah.
6 that I already coach is like they're there, and man, that's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
Truly. I don't think we realize what we do and how much it inspires
The impact that you do.
the kids, the
Yeah.
younger I had a kid come up to me and said they saw Wormy on the public affair.
Yeah.
Now they want to be on it. 14 years old at Avi's Quinceañera. Girl, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're watching the show.
Yeah, you're watching it.
don't be watching Robert Frog's episode. I know what your parents calling me.
I know, right?
Shout out to
Yeah.
Robert. Okay, so it just means
I mean,
it's something productive in their life.
you don't have,
Yeah.
And then also it's like this, what you're doing, you might get paid. I mean, I get paid as coach, but
Sure.
it's not about that. You
Mhm.
get up and go every Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesdays,
Mhm.
practices, and on the weekend, I'm gone the whole weekend.
Sure.
I mean, the
okay.
whole weekend, and when my family, I'm coaching other kids,
Yeah.
not even my own sometimes, and I'm gone for two days.
Sure.
So I mean, I do it because of that, because of the, the love of the kids that they actually love the sport,
I got you.
and throughout their journey of soccer,
Yeah.
some of these kids have actually gone all the way to college, and it's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
and
love
then
it so
coming
much.
back and say, "Hey, coach,
Yeah.
coach," they still call me coach to this day.
Okay.
And they say thank you for what you're doing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I hate that we're running out of time, but I do want to ask you before we go. We harped a lot on the coaches in present day, right? And their conduct and how they present themselves and how they act on and off the field and how they show up on and off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What advice can you give to the coach in 2024, either aspiring or sitting as a coach, that is misrepresenting their team, that is misrepresenting themselves, that think they might have it together, that's watching this episode right now and maybe thinking, oh, maybe they're talking about me, or they might be, maybe this is something I need to change. Do you know what I mean? What advice can you give that novice coach? Because that's what we're going to call their novice. You know what I mean? That's aspiring, that doesn't have the right resources or tools to do what they do.
I think the biggest thing that me as a older coach, coach of 15 years select soccer, I think the biggest things they got to worry about always having structure
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that if he says this is the way it goes,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way it is, and stick through it.
Sure.
Because some of these coaches don't stick through what they say.
Yeah.
So what's happening now, you're having, again, players and parents that are doing this,
Right.
going with the wave and not really getting what they're supposed to be getting from this coach that this coach told them to do.
Right.
But making sure also caring for the kids. That I think that's the reason why we all start coaching, because of their kids. I mean, most coaches start because of their kids.
Sure.
Right. Even myself.
Right.
But the biggest thing is making sure you're caring for the kids.
Absolutely.
And understanding that you have a life
Mm-hmm.
that's in front of you, and anything that you do, you impact that
It's
kid.
impacting them. I love
So,
that. Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing is that making sure that all the I know they love the sport, but make sure they care about the kids that they're doing.
100%.
So
You know what? I think you have said a mouthful. I think that as a veteran coach of over 15 years and the accolades that you've achieved, and you sound like you have a sound foundation standing right next to you at the very least. You know what I mean? That helps put you on game. And I I told you before, my best friend who is Coach Mauro Maldonado told me
Yes.
you have got to get Coach Juan on this
Mhm.
podcast, and I didn't think you do, right? I just want to say kudos to you for all that you've accomplished and the longevity that you've been able to achieve, because you can be in a business for as long as you want to. If you
Correct.
don't don't have a sound foundation and you don't have structure and you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't mean anything.
Correct.
If you go and you're a coach, one of the things I want you guys to take from this episode, because I've seen this firsthand, and I'm drunk, but I've seen this firsthand. You can win any championship that you want to. You can go out there, you can win as many games as you want to. If you act out of line and you act out of conduct, it means nothing.
That's right.
Your win means nothing.
That's right.
This coach right here, who has more experience than any of us in this room sitting put together, said that. And his word is his bond.
That's
so
correct.
Please do not DM me. Asking me questions. Ask him. So anyway.
You can ask me questions.
Okay. And so to Coach Juan, I applaud you for all your accolades and all your achievements.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful to know you. And I'm so grateful that you took the time to be on this podcast. Is there anything else that you can leave us before we go?
No, just thank you. I mean, make sure all the coaches out there just keep doing your thing, but at the same time, just worry about the kids first. Worry about the kids first, and you'll be okay. And thank you for having me.
Of course.
In this show.
Amy, thank you for coming on the last minute. We
Oh,
appreciate it.
you're
Yeah, okay, yes. Now, I don't know if you're down or not, but we are going to go do brunch because our studio time is up.
Yes.
Are we doing brunch?
Yeah.
We can totally do brunch.
We're doing brunch.
I took the whole day off to be in this bitch. So
Yes, we're doing brunch. We're
Listen,
doing
to all of
brunch.
you, thank you again so much for tuning into this episode. Now, before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to thank just a few more sponsors of this episode
Okay,
of the Public
go
Affair.
ahead.
Of course, to Jay Petto and Poco Junior Fuentes and their entire family, who I love, and they're all hot. They provide delicious, savory Japanese crepes and poke bowls, and they also have handcrafted Thai rolled ice cream for dessert. Listen, you could choose from a menu item. They have signature bowls and crepes, or you could just be like me, download the app and pick whatever you want. You can create your own bowl, packed with proteins, packed with healthy, fresh food. I absolutely love Jay Petto and Poke, especially after a good workout, especially after a good CrossFit workout. You know what I mean? I don't feel all bloated. I don't feel all miserable. Jay Petto and Poke is the way to go. To Junior Fuentes and your family, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. I got to give a huge shout out to Elite Barbershop, my boy Sid Rodriguez, who made sure I was looking snackish for this episode of The Public Affair. Got me in last minute. Thank you. Located on Hewitt Drive. You can call the number on the screen or download the Squire app to book walk-ins are welcome as well. He has Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, Isai Reyes, Sam Ceballos, and Kayla Chapa over there making like a snack as I have for more than 200 and something. I'd be losing count, guys. I'm not gonna lie. 200 and something episodes of The Public Affair. Sid Rodriguez has actually been the longest running sponsor of The Public Affair, and I truly appreciate all your support, bro. Thank you so much. And of course, I don't want to end this episode without thanking one of our new sponsors, JC Painting and Drywall LLC, with my boy Julio Arriaga. Listen, make sure you guys contact for all drywall and beautiful new paint for your property, both commercial and residential. You guys, his work is honest and true, and he's always going to guarantee 100% satisfaction. You guys, I promise I put my foot down on it. He truly lives by his slogan, just imagine, and we can make it happen. Make sure you guys call today with the number on the screen to my boy Julio Arriaga with JC Painting and Drywall LLC. Thank you so much for bringing us this episode of The Public Affair. Truly appreciate it. Of course, y'all know we're not going to go leave without thanking my girl Ana Limones with Hummingbird Party Backdrops. She's like, who you talking to? Hummingbird Party Backdrops and decor. Call for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props and giving an extra for your party or event with a number of wooden backdrops and so much more. You know, the husband makes the wooden backdrops.
Oh, wow.
They're custom. Yes, they are. They're custom. So when you guys are having a party for your daughter or something like that, make sure you guys hit up Hummingbird Party Backdrops and decor with the email on the screen. Okay. And she's going to make sure you guys are situated and your event is standing out amongst the rest. To Ana Limones, girl, keep doing your thing. I'm so proud of you. And shout out to you and your family. And thank you for all you do for me in The Public Affair. To all of you guys, I've got more on the way. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Me and Coach Juan and the wife, Amy, we're all going to go have more drinks. Our time is up here. Juan, I do want to let you know that I am truly honored that you came on this podcast. Truly. I truly am. Amy, thank you for letting him come on the podcast. Okay. To all of you guys, don't forget to always keep it between us. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
We are going to take pictures.
Hey, hold on, man.
Doing?
Yeah,
That's good.
Like, be one of those auctioneers. Like,
Do you think so?
I think you could.
Oh,
Totally
God,
rock it.
whatever.
Nice.
Doing good.
You know,
Oof.
imagine auctioning off, a date night with all these
Yeah.
people.
It took years of practice to do that.
Man,
to be honest.
that's your. I mean, I tell you what, I seen all your videos almost.
Uh-huh.
You're good, dude.
Thank you.
You're
appreciate
real good.
I appreciate that. I was talking to somebody yesterday. And, my very first commercial that I ever recorded on Power 108, which I no longer work for, was Devora's Auto Parts.
Oh, okay.
And they hated the commercial. They didn't air it. And when I heard it air, it was somebody else's voice on it.
Oh.
And I just remember my career is over. I was 24 or 25. I was like, I will never work another day in media. Like, this is horrible. And, you know,
Yeah, of course,
now
of course.
I could pull a spot out of my ass in 30 seconds. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So,
You know, those are the times that sometimes you just have to fail in order to know
I
like,
agree.
how I'm going to improve.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.